Welcome back, witches.
Hi.
Did you miss us?
Yes.
Well, we missed you.
Yeah, we did.
And you know what to do. But if you don't, and you're new here,
Period.
we invite you to pull up a chair and grab your most favorite teacup. Pour yourself a glass of your most favorite poison and settle in. It's adventure time.
I love going on adventures.
I also love going on adventures. My name is Trass, and every other week I sit down with my most favorite ladies in the whole wide world.
That's me.
That's me.
My big, but much shorter and sometimes wiser sister Janet.
All the time wiser.
That's true.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
And my headstrong and most definitely would follow into a burning house niece Kaylee.
Yeah.
If she's going, I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Uh-huh.
We sit down and talk about history's most crazy and sometimes beautiful, sometimes brutal shit. We do all of this while sipping on our most favorite poisons. It's beer, people. It's usually fucking beer.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck you
Almost
expect from us
always.
because we're Midwest
And
girls.
can we just talk about how Trass has delicately placed her gum
Bro.
on the side of her fucking teacup?
It's not
Yeah.
delicate. It was stuck to my fingers. I couldn't get it off.
It does look delicately placed.
Does it look delicately placed?
I think
It's
you were like, this is
beautiful.
strategically placed.
I
Should
did
we
that
say
on
that
purpose.
instead?
Yes, strategically placed. I'm going to just say that I did that on purpose.
She's saving it for later.
So if you don't already, go on over to Facebook and give us a follow at the Poison Tea Party Podcast.
Yep.
Don't forget our website at thepoisonteaparty.com.
Yep.
While you're over there, as always, go over and send us a message. Let us know how we're doing. If there's anything you want to hear about in the future, we would love to hear from you. Don't forget about our Patreon page. We have our fun after-hour show called Extra Poison. But the only way for you to hear it is for you to go and be a Patreon member.
Yep. You can get that bonus content when you subscribe to like literally any tier. There's 3 tiers to choose from. There's like a $5, $10, and $25. But no matter which one you choose, you get access to the bonus content. And we had some confusion on that, but I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay. Yeah. So you get the extra poison. It doesn't matter which tier you choose from. You will have access to.
Basically, like if you choose the higher tiers, you're getting the better merch.
Yeah. There's merch involved.
And
when
you're
you
going to get
basically
access to
choose-
some cool things that we're going to do this summer. Only
Yeah.
if you're on the higher tiers. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So that is patreon.com/thepoisonteaparty.
Mhm.
Head on over, choose a tier like we talked about, support the show, and get access to more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Perfect. We'd love that.
Love it.
Okay. So in honor of Mother's Day, I have
Oh, God.
prepared something special for you
I'm a
ladies.
mother.
You are a mother.
You're a mother.
I
I'm
am
a mother.
Callie's a mother.
You're a mother too. Okay, so I'm going to be...
Deal.
I will be asking questions along the way, but before we get into this,
Oh my God.
you each have a present in front of you. I would
Yes,
like you.
we do.
I would like you to open that present.
Oh my
It's
God,
heavy.
I'm kind of scared. And the presents on this show, you guys, we spoil each other.
I do what I can, and so do they.
Yeah.
We're just.
Oh my God. Is this what I think it is? Because I almost bought this for
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
Cry.
Cry.
This is so cute.
Wait till
I
your mom.
love
Wait till
it.
your mom gets it. Okay.
Yeah, I almost bought this for you guys. That's so funny.
It's so pretty.
Isn't it so cute?
We
And-
usually don't get like really super nice gifts on the pod.
But this is really
They're
super
mostly
nice.
hilarious.
But this is really super nice and it's gold rimmed like our teacup.
And
Yeah.
they were super on sale. So what do they say, ladies?
I
Or
punch
what
a-
is it? What is it? Because
Okay.
nobody knows.
It's a coffee mug.
And it's like marbled pink and it's so
Kind of like
beautiful.
a
And it's
rose
got
gold.
gold rim.
Yeah.
And it says, I'd punch a bitch
for you
right in the throat. And then it has a little heart.
Isn't that just precious?
And also, there's a heart right on the inside of
Yeah.
which
I
I
love.
And I loved them because they were gold, like
Oh.
you had said, because that's what our actual teacups that we use every episode. That's what they look like.
And look, it has a lip.
Staring at
Jason's
you
I
guys
think
like,
I'm
holy
gonna
fuck.
drink my next beer out of this.
absolutely,
Can I do that? Okay.
absolutely. That's what they're for.
I need to
These
find-
are so cute.
I need to find a cute cute place to set this because I have a candle that Aunt Tracy got me, and it says, "I'd shank a bitch for you."
Yes.
Oh,
And I have it on display on my coffee table. And it
Kaylee's
looks
like, I'm
so
never going to burn
perfect.
it.
I haven't
I
ever burned
already
it.
knew that about you. How come I already knew that?
See, I have OCD. If you want to see OCD, come to my house.
Well, so the other option was I'd stab a bitch right in the kidney for
Yeah.
you.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I remembered that I bought you a candle that said I'd shank a bitch.
Shank a bitch.
So I was like, I got to get the punch a bitch in the throat.
No, I love
Yeah.
these.
These
oh my
are
god, they're
awesome.
so pretty.
You gonna drink your beer out of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink this one, and then my next one's going in this, and so is my eyeball.
My eyeball.
Yeah.
My eyeball's going in. All right. So I'm going to be asking you guys questions along the way, and they might be a little bit difficult to think about. If you get caught up, I have my story, so I can tell you my story, and then we can come back to you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
So my first question is, what is your very first memory of your mother?
My mom.
Yep. Would you like me to read mine?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So mine is, we used to live in this house across from the elementary school, and I don't know how old I was. I was probably 2, maybe 3 at the oldest.
Yeah, no, you weren't
I
3.
was-
You were about 2.
Yeah, I was probably like 1.5, 2.
Yeah.
Now, I remember a lot from that house, and not all memories were good ones, but I do remember my mother always playing with me in the garden. I remember that she was and still is the most beautiful woman that I had ever seen.
Yep.
And, you know, she would just be, we'd be playing in the garden, and then you just look up at her, and it's like the sun was behind her, and her hair was
And
just...
her hair is so big and curly,
Yes,
and
yep.
she like lights
And I
up like
just-
an angel.
She does, and I just always remember thinking, my mommy is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
You used to tell mom that all the time. You were like,
And Avery does
You're
it.
so pretty, Mommy.
Avery does it to me too, so it makes me laugh. Unprompted, by the way. She would play with me and let me eat things right out of the garden, dirt and all. And she would build us houses out of cardboard boxes. And she painted us a mural on our bedroom wall.
she let us paint it.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
She helped. She painted too, but she let us paint too.
I was literally in diapers. So, like, I remember all of this.
I just told this
This
story
is,
to
like,
Lily the other day.
great.
So I do have much earlier memories than this, but I don't always remember my mom being there. So, like, for the sake of, like, time and whatever, that's just what I'm going with. But also, I would like to tell you about the time I met my other mother for the first time. I was, like, probably 4.
This is an uncomfy thing for me.
Mommy's like,
It's okay. It's all right. I don't get too crazy. So I was like maybe 4. I think I was 4. So she came equipped with McDonald's Barbie toys. And I liked that she thought of us and remembered, you know, because none of our dad's other girlfriends like really thought about us that I can remember at the time. Literally, I was 4 people. So I remember
They
thinking they didn't.
You were
they
right.
didn't.
But that I really liked that she cared enough to like do something for us and bring us something. And you know, to form that relationship right off the bat. So I liked her pretty instantly. And you know what? She softened my dad a lot, or rather she really created the space for us to be like wild and crazy kids. Not that I love my dad, don't get me wrong. My dad was just a lot more strict, and she definitely, in my memory anyways, softened him to the point to where she was like, Bates'll just let them do whatever they want.
That's
Just let
true.
them be
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So, and she was, and to this day still is, an amazing person and an amazing mother.
Yeah. Agree.
So, do you know what story you want to tell?
So, one of my first memories of mom, and this is like, I might have been older. I can remember things like crawling to mom and her like egging me on, like, come on, Janet, you can do it, and
Yeah,
me
like
scooting,
tiny-
like
tiny
being so tiny,
memories.
but like
Yeah.
literally that's the memory. That's it. But my first like full memory of my mom is we lived in an apartment, and my mom and dad were married at the time, but their marriage was like not great. And my mom worked at a fucking popcorn and chip factory. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
And she would work, I don't remember. She got home really fucking late. Like she would bring home huge bags of like cheese popcorn, caramel popcorn, butter popcorn. And this is why Star Trek is such a, like the original Star Trek
Yep.
in Elvira
Oh, yes.
is like such a memory to me, because I would wait all day for my mom. Like when she went to work, I was like, okay, I'll be waiting for you.
I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah.
And I would wait all fucking day for this bitch to get home. And then I'd be like, you know, just being there like, hi, Mom. I waited for you.
A little
She was probably
creeper.
like, Jesus fucking Christ, you should be sleeping. And she would say that. But then she would like pick me up and she'd take me to the couch because my mom always has slept on the couch
For forever.
Always.
forever. And we would watch the very old Star Trek episodes
Yes.
and Elvira
Yes.
episodes and movies and eat cheese popcorn and butter popcorn until I literally fell asleep. And I feel like sometimes mom was like, oh my God, don't eat that and fall asleep. But she would sleep and then I would sleep next to her.
And then she was probably like, God damn it, go to fucking bed so I can have
Sometimes
some
she
alone
was probably
time.
like, oh my God, why are you? She never did that. She never said, go back to sleep. She never made me go back to bed. She always was like, okay.
All right, here's your popcorn.
Yep, come here.
Here's
Look
your
what
drink.
I brought you. And
Yep.
then she'd
That's
like
mom.
be
That-
ready for me to be awake and whatever.
Yep.
And
And hang out.
That's classic mom.
yeah.
It is.
So that's probably my first like real whole memory
Jeez,
with
mom.
my mom.
Jeez, mom. Why are you giving her all the popcorn?
Yeah, she gave me all the cheesy ones.
All the cheesy
All the
ones.
And that was
cheesy
like I don't
ones.
even really like popcorn anymore.
No.
I do sometimes, but back in those days I apparently really loved it.
Getting down
I
with
have like
popcorn.
the exact same memories, like early memories with grandma,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
that's
She's
just how
always
it
like,
was.
come on.
Faux show. You
Mhm.
got one of your mom?
Yep. I have two memories, like when I'm really, really little baby.
Be gentle.
No, these are good. Like, I feel like my memories a lot with my mom were very much like mom is comfort. Mom is
Yeah.
comfort. Like all the time. Like that's a lot how my memories were from that time.
Mhm.
So there's one where I'm like a baby, and sometime I can tell this story on the podcast, but I used to have these like wicked, wild, fucking crazy ass dreams in this one house. And my mom has stories about that house too.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like a really little baby. And I remember like being scared, but I was just such a weird child.
You
where
were
I was
you were like one
yeah.
or two, maybe two.
And I've always just been like very mute with the emotions, but
Mhm.
like I wouldn't be like outwardly crying or even saying anything, but I just remember like mom would walk in at like the most perfect times where I'm like, holy fuck, I'm having like a panic attack, but I'm like literally a baby.
But I'm a baby.
And I'm still trying-
Your
yeah.
mouth wide open. You were like,
And I remember kicking my feet. Like I can see my legs kicking. And I'm laying in the crib. And like the hallway, I remember because the door was cracked and there's like just like this tiny bit of light coming out from the hallway, but like my room was like black. So like every time I could see the mom just like opening the door and then she's like, hi, it's like, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, you know. So it's just like those comfort.
oh my God, I'm glad you're here. By the way, I saw something creepy. You want to
Right.
pick me
Yeah.
up or what?
So like that was one that
Was that when in the apartment when she was in my room? My old room?
Yeah.
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 And that's like one of my, yeah. And then like my second one from probably around that same time was, and it's another comfort memory. It's like my dad would change my diaper and he would be so fucking dramatic
He
and I
was
was
so
so
bad.
like embarrassed because he would be like,
And it was
Blech.
all over your face.
Yeah.
And it used to
but like
make
I
me
never like said
so-
anything.
No, but you could
You
tell just by
couldn't. You
looking
were
at
I was
you.
just
baby.
yeah, I was just I was just quiet.
But
like,
we could all
It made
tell
me
just
so
by
Yeah.
looking at
pissed
you.
off. I yelled at his ass.
And like then I would remember like him being dramatic over top of me and like the fucking shirt over his face. I always remember that. And then I would always see it would be like you would just like appear with your head and you're like your hair was like down and you'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like what are you doing? And like it was just the comfort. Like again, like I
Yeah.
would just feel like
Mom's
like
here.
basically I'd
Yeah.
make him move and I'm like, you're not doing it right. Just
Yeah.
fucking and
For real.
it was written all over your face how
You could
embarrassed
tell.
you
Yeah.
were. And
Yeah.
you were like, because he was making such a big deal and you felt like you were naughty or something for
Yeah.
pooping.
Like, I felt
I'm
like I was in
"Do
trouble."
not
and like
fucking
that
do
was
that to her.
just like having moments, these two memories where I'm like infant
Mhm.
pretty much.
Yeah, you were a baby. You were definitely a baby.
like yeah, and to have those moments and to remember like, oh, I definitely felt like scared or nervous or embarrassed or whatever, but then like mom would come in to the memory,
Yeah.
and it would just be like, ugh.
Thank God.
Like
I'm saved.
Literally, like
Ugh,
you're
safe
God.
now.
yeah, just like the biggest relief. Like
My mommy's like that
even
too.
as like a little baby, but it puts it into perspective as like a grown up now. That's weird.
So I wouldn't be me if I wasn't curious about the before times, right?
Mhm.
The long,
Yeah.
long ago's. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was thinking, why do we celebrate Mother's Day? I mean, obviously we
Yeah,
should.
why?
And mothers give life.
They're
they-
basically saints.
Yeah. They grow humans, they birth them, they nurture them, they protect them, and they would absolutely die for
They
them.
get no breaks.
Right. They
Yeah.
just they don't
Remember that.
they don't.
I'm already knowing it, girl. I'm just like really emphasizing that. Free
Oh,
birth
God.
control.
So they deserve to be celebrated more than just one day a year. So I want to know what prompted us as a society to do this. We're going to start in ancient Greece and Rome, as we usually fucking do,
Of course.
with pagans.
Of course.
My favorite
Queens.
motherfuckers.
So pagans held spring festivals honoring their mother goddesses. Rhea was worshipped as the goddess of fertility and the mountain wilds. A Mother's Day celebration started because of a story in Greek mythology. It revolves around Rhea, who was Mother Earth's daughter.
Ugh, love.
Rhea was known as the Mother of Gods and represented nature and fertility, and a festival would be held each year in spring to celebrate and honor the goddess Rhea.
Love her.
In ancient Rome, Romans celebrated Magna Mater, which means Great Mother. However, these celebrations became so wild and notorious that the Roman government banned Magna Mater's followers from Rome.
Well, fuck them.
For
you know
real.
what? If they don't like a fucking wild rager, then fuck them.
Fuck them right in the ass. Oh.
This is for the mothers out there. This is for all the mothers out
This
there.
is for the mothers.
Cheers, bitch.
Cheers, motherfucker.
In ancient Rome, Cybele was celebrated with the Megalesian.
Mega lesbos.
Okay, in ancient Rome, Cybele was celebrated with a fucking festival that I can't say the name of because I can't pronounce it. From April 4th to April 10th. Listen,
Oh my god, that's like, that just happened.
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
you missed it. Damn it.
Then this festival featured games, theatrical performances, sacred feasts, and it was also they would do a ritualistic bull sacrifice.
Oh my god, they killed a fucking bull.
They killed the fucking bull.
Oh my god, they
Well-
killed the fucking bull.
Well, it's a man.
It's a man.
Oh
They
no.
were like, in the name of mother, let's kill the
In
man.
the-
In the name of mother. Lesbos.
You guys, oh my god, what happened? I don't know. Like, we were sober like a second ago.
For real, I don't know. So basically, Mother's Day sort of started where everything has fucking started, which is ancient Greece and Rome. But what about actual Mother's Day as we celebrate it today? Well, Mother's Day in the United States has a history all its own. Julia Ward Howe was an abolitionist, a women's rights advocate, and a peace activist. Love her to death. In 1870, Howe issued what has become known as the Mother's Day Proclamation, and it was originally called an appeal to womanhood throughout the world. In it, Howe urged the creation of an international body of women who could find ways to avoid war and bloodshed.
Oh, okay, girl.
So I'm going to read. This is quoted. I earnestly ask that a general congress of women without limit of nationality may be appointed to promote the alliance of the different nationalities, the amicable settlement of international questions with great and general interest of peace.
Aww.
So,
Heart
How-
emoji.
heart emoji. Howe sought to establish an annual Mother's Day for Peace to be celebrated in June, and that did happen in a few places for a little while. The version of Mother's Day celebrated today, though, is more directly rooted in the work of Anne Jarvis and her daughter Anna Jarvis, who established the holiday to honor her mother. Frustratingly, for like the younger Jarvis, most people didn't celebrate or still don't celebrate it today the way she intended for it to be celebrated.
Oh.
So Anne Jarvis, the mother, she birthed more than 12 children. And-
Oh.
yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Right.
Oh.
So most of the children died from diseases, which were common in her day.
For no reason.
Right. These
fun with
diseases.
that.
Right.
Your poor vagina.
Your poor vagina. Oh.
That vagina.
So most of most of these diseases were common during her day in the Appalachia area of Virginia where they had lived. Jarvis worked hard in her community to help other mothers and families avoid tragedies that she had suffered. Okay, so Jarvis organized mothers' work clubs and promoted special mothers' work days when women could collaboratively collect trash and undertake other projects to improve local environmental conditions. And she even had them undertake projects to improve local environmental conditions and their neighbors' understanding of hygiene, because this was like the 1800s.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for her.
So the focus of Jarvis's work changed when the war struck. Her region was deeply divided by the Civil War. Remember, they're in Appalachia, in the Appalachia area.
Yeah.
Jarvis insisted that the women's groups she organized help both Confederate and Union troops who were sick and wounded.
Wow. That's like way unprecedented.
Yes.
But like,
Anne's a boss ass bitch.
right. She's like, I don't care who you are.
Right.
I'm going to fucking help you live.
I'm going to fucking help you live.
Anne is a queen.
I love her.
And she worked to promote peace and unity following the war as well.
Wow. Wow.
So in 1868, despite threats of violence, she organized a Mother's Friendship Day to unite families from both sides of the war to try to restore the sense of community. And it is possible that Howe, the lady that we had talked about first, it's possible that her proclamation 2 years after this was inspired by Jarvis because they actually knew each other, which makes sense because Howe was an abolitionist, a woman's right advocate. After Anne Jarvis's death, her daughter Anna Jarvis set out to honor her mother's legacy by establishing a National Mother's Day on the second Sunday in May, which was the day that her mother died.
Aww.
that's
So that's
really
why
sad.
we celebrated on that day.
Yep.
Okay.
So Anna...
I knew none of this.
I didn't either. Anna, who
And now
never...
you all know it
Now
too.
you fucking know it and you better honor thy fucking mother, bitches.
She was a fucking boss ass bitch. So
She was a
honor this
boss-ass
bitch and
bitch.
your mama.
And your mama. And your mama's mama.
And your mama's mama.
this goes out to all my mama's mama.
Anna, the daughter, she had never married or had children of her own. And she did not want the holiday to focus on peace activism, but on the idea of honoring one's own mother. So she chose white carnations as an emblem and urged people to write heartfelt handwritten letters of gratitude to their mothers.
I'm getting mom carnations now this
Period.
year.
No,
White
they have to be white.
carnations.
So Anna succeeded in her quest for official recognition, and President Wilson issued a proclamation for the first National Mother's Day just before the start of World War I in 1914. So Anna Jarvis, she quickly grew annoyed as she noted increasing commercialization of the celebration. What she had wanted to be a holy day had become, in her eyes, a mindless holiday benefiting florists and greeting card companies more than actually honoring the mothering work being done by women.
Well, hell yeah. Ain't that the American
Yep.
way?
So, Anna was so distraught over the way that Americans observed the holiday. She had worked hard to
She
establish...
went on a mass murder spree and
Well, I
fucking
mean,
killed all the florists
She
in
may
the
have.
area.
She may have.
And that's
Oh,
on-
sorry.
She started a petition to have it recalled in 1943. 5 years later, she died penniless in a sanitarium where her bills were paid by the same greeting card companies and florists she despised. She literally went fucking psychotic and ended up in a sanitarium.
Oh, honey,
And-
girl.
yeah, this
Let's
shit-
relax. Let's step back a minute.
This shit literally put her into a tailspin. So, like,
Did she really go crazy?
yes,
or
she did. I didn't include it in here because for sake of time, because I have a lot of other
That's
stuff
such
in
a
here.
weird hill to die on.
Right. And then, but the florists and
Like, she
the-
really was like, my mama.
yeah. And she literally was fucking pissed off
Oh, my.
to the point that she drove herself insane and
That's
was
so
admitted to a
sad.
sanitarium.
You know what, though? Listen,
I support it.
I feel her on many levels daily.
I know what
with
that is,
shit.
you know?
Later.
So, speaking of going crazy, Do you remember a time when you made
It's
your
not
mom
even-
crazy?
There's too
I have several
many.
occasions.
Like she totally flipped the fuck out.
All the time, dude.
Do you have any stories? I have one if you want me to read it
yeah,
first.
please do.
Okay, so me and my sister were in her room, and I think we were like fighting or something. I don't fucking know, but my mom had come in there a few times to tell us to shut the fuck up, and we didn't listen. All of a sudden, the door fucking busts open, and there's my mom standing there, hair fucking wild, eyes fucking crazy, right? With a
Yeah.
wooden spoon in her hand. Now, you have to remember, this is the fucking 90s, people. Wooden spoons were a part of every mother's fucking arsenal.
Well, they were a part of our moms.
Our mom. So she threw us on the bed and spanked us both, hair flying everywhere. It was so fucking, it was like a crazy fucking
She was
fiasco.
so dramatic.
So then, just as fast as she had shown up, she was gone.
Yeah.
My sister and I looked at each other, and I don't remember who spoke first,
This
but
is
I
the
think it
best
was,
fucking story. I heard,
I think it was Janet. And she looks at me and she goes, Did that even hurt? And I said, no. And we both just fucking died laughing. There
We're
is-
the worst motherfucking kids.
There
guys
is
were
no
fucking
way
gremlins.
that there's no way that mom didn't hear us. And honestly, I don't know why we're still alive.
No,
To
she
be
was,
quite honest
and
with
let me
you.
tell you, she was out there laughing her ass off too.
She
I already
probably
know,
was.
Mom.
Yeah, she was.
We didn't see her at the time. We were totally convinced that we were like, she
was
sucks
laughing.
at whooping our ass.
She was laughing. Dude, she was laughing. I know she was dying.
Now that I'm older and, you know, I know
Right.
my mother, which I knew her at the time, but you know what? I know her on this level. I know she was out there being like, oh my God, that was hilarious. Which is why
Oh
we're this
my
way.
God.
For real. It's all her fault. Any other stories anybody'd like to share?
I have pissed my mom off on several millions of occasions.
Yep.
As
I don't
as
even
we all
want to
have.
fucking, like, I don't even want to attempt it.
Right. I mean, that's fair.
It's
That's
so
fair.
bad.
That's fair.
There's
Kaylee?
so many.
Kaylee, would you like
You
to tell
were
us a story
always
about
like-
your mother?
Oh my motherfucker God, if you guys don't shut the fuck up.
And then the worst was like 5 minutes later, I'd walk out and like be so pissed and ignoring her ass, and she'd be like, "So I just got this new thing. Do you want to like see it or like what?" And I'm like, "We're not friends, bitch. You
Let
pissed
me
me
tell you
off."
about how really bad I am at saying I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's
For real.
terrible.
Me too. Me too.
She's terrible.
It's fine.
But probably a good one.
Do not tell the hairbrush story.
That's
on
exactly
this
what I'm
motherfucking
thinking about.
podcast.
I'm thinking
All right,
about
dude,
that.
tell it.
It's
Let's
all
go.
right.
Let it ride.
They had wooden spoons. I had fucking hairbrushes, bitches. Shut the fuck up.
Act
with
like
your
I
ass.
beat you with it. No, I didn't.
Girl, this was so funny.
She
Okay.
didn't get beat with it.
So no, I didn't. It was fucking hilarious. So mom
I
was
didn't know
like,
what to do. I was so mad.
mom was just so bitchy that day, and I was just like avoiding her, sort of. And then I'm like doing my thing, blah blah blah. And I just can hear her little fucking tiny steps all around the house.
One thing about me, let me tell you this before she continues with her story. When my girls go in their room, because we just got into a fucking screaming match argument, don't think that they're going to shut the door and I'm not going to fucking continue bitching
Yep.
about it.
Yep.
So that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened. And
Always.
Kaylee, this particular, and they would go in there and they'd be like, and fuck you. And well, they didn't say fuck you. They'd be like, and I do what I want. And they'd slam the door. And I'd be like, bitch, you coming up in my house thinking that you doing
literally
what you want.
was.
But girl, you
And-
fucking on crack. You think that that's happening in this motherfucker. And then I would go on
Same.
and on and on.
That
Same.
is her.
And then they would be behind the door quietly. But this particular
I was
day,
pissed off this
Kaylee was like, so I'm like, Kaylee, blah, 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 whatever. I had so much to say when the door got slammed in my face. But then this particular day, Kaylee was like,
She had something to say
it
about
was
it.
quiet for a minute. And then she was like,
Well, because I don't want to, and I don't want to clean my fucking room.
It was
and
like
blah,
my
blah, blah.
first time that I spoke back
it really
to my
was.
mom.
She never really does that ever. And
And-
this day was not the
And
day.
this was like preteen. Like I'm going through puberty right now. It was the first time I spoke back to my mom. And she swung that damn door so fast.
I
It
said,
fucking,
you said what?
It
She
fucking
kicked it in. She
shut.
Kool-Aid
It
man
did.
that shit.
It like shut again. So she had to open it again. It was so dramatic. And then I'm standing there in front of my dresser and I got this big ass mirror and I'm sitting there and I have her brush in my hand and I'm like brushing my hair and she's like, just going off and off. And she's
Oh
like,
my
and
God.
what else did you just say?
Oh, I said, you got something else to say?
Yeah,
You
that
got
was what
something
it
else to
was.
fucking say?
And
And then
she
Kaylee
was like,
turns to me and's like,
yeah,
yeah,
I
do
do.
have something to say.
I did. And I was brushing my hair, and then she goes, oh, you little, and she was like saying all this shit, and then I was just like, and we were just like going crazy with our head bobbing.
Meanwhile, my husband's sitting in the fucking
the
recliner
chair.
in the living room, like,
He was
just
like,
silent,
he
staring
was
off
like
into fucking
holding on to the
He was-
seat, dude.
He was holding on.
He was scared because, like, no, this had not happened yet. This was a
I'm gonna pee
breakthrough
my
moment.
pants. It's just so funny.
Okay, so then mom's like, still going off. I'm going off. And then mom's like, and give me my damn brush.
Yeah, because she had my brush.
And because I was brushing my hair with her brush. Yeah, I took it. What about it? So then I was like, fine. And I threw it on the ground. And
Uh-oh.
then mom goes, like, literally, she vocally just, and, like, is staring into my soul with her mouth wide fucking open. She's in a towel.
Terrible.
She has her hair down, soaking wet, crazy ass,
My
fucking
cheeks hurt
soaking
so
wet.
bad,
Like,
dude.
she was looking a mess. She just got out of the shower.
Fuck you.
And
I was looking a mess.
You were looking a mess. Like, you were just like, you literally were like mascara running. It was crazy. And I was just like staring back at you, and I knew I fucked up. And I was just like, I was like,
you were
here it
committed
comes.
at that point.
I
Here
was,
it comes.
yeah, like, I
Yeah.
couldn't back out at
Yeah.
that point. I really regretted it, but I was like hyperventilating.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
I
fucking
was like
did.
straight up sitting there like, oh shit, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then mom runs over to the fucking brush and she picks it up and she whips that brush at me.
That was dramatic.
Let it. No, it wasn't. I did whip it at it. But
She
let it
did.
be known that in all of my. I am not the parent. I'm really not the parent that spanks. I'm really not the parent that is
No,
physical.
we were timeout
No.
kids.
Yeah, no.
It was a timeout
Holding hands
situation.
kids.
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't make you guys hold hands.
Bullshit.
I have a
So
picture of my
the
kids
few
holding hands.
times that, like, literally, if you're a parent, you already know what I'm saying. If you're a mother, especially, you know, you lose your shit sometimes. And I'm not proud of that. That's probably one of the worst
But it's
things
hilarious.
I've ever
Good
done.
content.
Dude,
Yeah.
that shit was
Great.
like
Love it.
character development. I needed that. Like,
Well, I'm glad you say that now because at the time, I was devastated
I
with
milked
myself.
that
I was gonna
shit
say, I know
up.
exactly how your mom felt. She was fucking mad at herself
Yes,
afterwards, and she
I
beat herself
was.
up after
I
it.
yeah,
did.
and I
Yeah.
fucking played it up. I was like, yeah, you threw a brush at me.
I was like,
Keely's
oh my
still
god,
to
she's
this
gonna
day.
be a murderer now
No.
because
Yeah.
I was such a
my
big,
mom
Seriously.
hit me
parent.
with a brush.
At least once a week for like ever after
Yep.
that, Kaylee would be like, "Well, my mom hit me with a brush."
Yeah, she did too.
Yep.
Yeah, she
I
fucking
did.
she ate that shit
And
up.
guess what?
Mhm.
I probably got some fucking McDonald's out of it. So
Yeah, you probably did twice.
What about it? So
She had
yeah,
McDonald's money.
my mom and I had a lot of, and then teenage years. Oh god, it's so bad. There was so many fights with me and my mom where my dad just was standing right in the middle, just like.
But
Okay.
they were all screaming matches. It never
Screaming.
got to, that
No.
was the most
No.
physical I've ever been.
I was gonna say, and
Yeah.
I feel like
Kaylee.
that's pretty fucking normal.
When you kicked me into the door, but we were joking around.
We were not. That was
That was
completely
so
joking.
funny, though.
No, I just thought it was.
Your ass.
That was an accident. Like I
was
was
an
being
acc-
goofy.
allegedly,
Allegedly, I was like 6 years old, and we're just like play fighting, and this bitch just full blown kicks my ass through the
I
bathroom
fucking
door.
Mortal Kombated her ass
I
right through
went
the fucking door.
flying.
She went flying back. Her fucking
Flying.
feet
Oh
and
my
arms came out. It was
God.
crazy. Anyway, sorry.
So we got a
fuck's sakes.
lot of these kind of stories.
Well, because
We
we're
piss
crazy.
our
We
moms
tried
off.
to do Mother's Day.
Because we're crazy. That's why. So, on the crazy mom trend, I got a couple stories for you. 29-year-old Deborah Scott of Bronson, Florida. Yes, we're talking about Florida, so get with
The
it.
Florida
Florida
man.
man.
She was located and arrested after she brought her 2-year-old into a hospital in Marion County, Florida, and told staff members that her child was acting crazy. So the child's behavior was described by medical staff as tweaking. So lab results confirm that Scott's child was exposed to the following narcotics:
Oh,
meth,
Jesus fucking Christ.
meth, and opiates.
Wow.
So Scott had recently moved into a home in Bronson that was known for drug activity. Detectives saying that she admitted to recently using meth. So-
Loser.
For real. Scott also admitted to waiting 12 hours after she first noticed her child having symptoms to visit a hospital.
Loser.
And when she decided to finally take action, she chose not to call 911, but
Wow.
to drive there instead. which was miles from where she
Wow.
lived. And Scott was charged with felony child neglect and taken to a facility in Levy County.
And today she has her kid.
I didn't look it up, but probably more than likely.
That's fucking disgusting. Rotten hell.
For real. Okay, so the next one we have is Susan Smith. Susan Smith has served 30 years of a life sentence for drowning her 2 young sons in 1994 and was unanimously denied parole by the South Carolina Board of Parolees and Pardons. She is serving a life sentence at Leith Correctional Institution after she confessed to rolling her car into a Union County lake in 1994, killing 3-year-old Michael and 14-month-old Alex.
And it's so fucking sad.
It is.
Don't watch documentaries on it because
No.
they
See,
share sad
we
shit.
remember this, or at least I do. I know my sister probably
Mhm.
remembers this when it actually happened too.
Yeah.
And then it was like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
I feel like a bunch of shit just started happening like
It
that.
did. So Susan Smith told police in November of 1994 that her sons were taken when she was carjacked by a black man
Mm-hmm.
in the
That's what
city
she
of
said.
Union in late October, setting off a manhunt and a barrage of media attention on the young mother. This is just fucking, of course. It was a fucking black man. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Casey Anthony be like.
For real.
Fuck
but
you.
it would, but it would turn out that Smith's young children, they were already dead, and they were strapped into their car seats at the bottom of a nearby lake, John D. Long Lake.
That's kind of a weird
Okay,
name.
Yeah.
I don't fuck
Okay.
with that.
So investigators were skeptical of Smith's story right from the start, and eventually, under questioning, she confessed to rolling her car into the lake, killing her sons. The story made international headlines, and her 1995 murder trial was followed closely around the world. I know that I remember it. I remember
I
it
actually
happening.
had a couple nightmares about this.
Did you?
When I was, because I was old
Yeah.
enough to understand.
Yeah. The prosecution pointed to reports Smith was having an affair with her boss's rich son, who had just broken up with her because he didn't want children. Her attorneys argued that she was suicidal and depressed and intended to
Oh my God.
stay in the car with her children. I don't buy that at
No.
all in this particular case. So Smith was convicted of murder. She's now 53 and she has served 30 years of her life sentence, making her eligible for parole. She was denied parole.
Oh, good,
God.
good, good.
Yeah, the dad of the boys went to the parole hearing.
Thank
and
God.
he said all these things.
They were
Um,
married at the time.
yes.
Yes.
Yep, a lot of other people went to that parole hearing, and she was denied
They were
parole.
protesting.
Thank God.
So the next one we have is Andrea Yates, and she was born on July 2nd of 1964 in Houston, Texas. Raised in a Roman Catholic family, she had a happy childhood. She was a high school class valedictorian. She jogged and swam regularly. And after graduating from Milby High School in 1982, she attended the University of Houston and University of Texas at Houston, where she majored in nursing. And she worked as a registered nurse at Houston Cancer Center from 1986 until 1994. So she met Russell, or Rusty, Edison Yates in Houston in 1990. They were married on April 17th of 1993. And Rusty was employed as an engineer with NASA.
Oh, goddamn. Get
Yeah.
that money, girl.
And Andrea Yates continued to work as a nurse until she had her first child, Noah Jack, in 1994. So the couple lived in a house in Houston until 1993, and then for some fucking reason, they decided to move into a travel trailer / bus type situation.
Check them out. Investigate.
Yates bore 4 children and had 1 miscarriage. She reportedly became increasingly reclusive and overtly religious while she homeschooled her children. Her husband believed in a fundamentalist philosophy of marriage, insisting that his wife give up her job and not use birth control.
Ew.
So the couple believed that a woman's children would go to hell for her sins if she did not repent.
Okay.
These people were fucking nuts.
Dirk-a-dur.
Right.
Anywho.
So the family did not have babysitters, and Rusty, who later admitted that he had never changed a diaper for any of his children, and he left all of the childcare to Andrea.
Oh, Rusty. You're so fucking kind, you piece of shit, loser dick bitch.
Oh my fucking
Damn.
God.
For
Don't
real.
piss
Fuck with
her
him.
off.
I don't fuck with him.
So during the course of their marriage, Andrea was treated for her deteriorating mental state. After the birth of her first child, she reported seeing Satan and images of death. She became increasingly thin, evasive, detached, isolated, and consumed with religious righteousness.
Of course she did.
She first attempted suicide on June 17th of 1999 by ODing on pills. She was treated in a psychiatric unit and was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. and she was released with a prescription for antidepressants, but she did not take the medication. Andrea had stopped feeding her children and began to report hallucinations to her husband. She later threatened to slit her own throat with a knife, and she was hospitalized after going into a catatonic state. I don't know if you know what a catatonic state is, but it's like literally you just sit there and just like eyes wide open. Like you don't say nothing, you don't do nothing, you don't move.
And you definitely don't care for the babies.
No, you don't. So while there, she was successfully treated with antipsychotic medication and therapy for postpartum depression.
I was just going to say.
Mm-hmm. So before she was released from the hospital, doctors warned her that having any more children could put her health gravely at risk.
Mm-hmm.
As she cared for her 4 children in the family bus.
Yeah, which is already just like,
Yeah,
what the
it's
fuck?
fucking weird.
Any person would be like going crazy in that fucking thing.
For real. So she became increasingly obsessed with fundamentalist Christian teachings. At the urging of his wife's family, Rusty did purchase a home in 1999.
Oh, thank you, Rusty.
And
Round of applause.
Andrea's mental state really seemed to improve drastically. However, in March of 2000, she stopped taking her medication because guess what? She was pregnant.
Oh.
4 months after the birth of her daughter, Yates' father died suddenly, and that just sent her into like this huge, deep depression.
Obviously.
She mutilated herself. She lost her appetite. She stopped caring for her children, and she refused to speak to any of her family. After 2 more brief hospitalizations and treatments with antipsychotic medications, she was released. 2 days after meeting with her psychiatrist, she took her children one by one to her bathroom, where she drowned them. She then laid them out on her bed. Her 4 sons, 1 daughter, Noah, John, Paul, Luke, and Mary, were aged from 6 months to 7 years.
My God.
Yates then calmly called the police to request an officer and then her husband and told him that he needed to come home. Yates was charged with 5 counts of capital murder for the drowning of her children, and she gave a detailed confession to police saying that she killed her children to save them from hell. During her 17-day trial, numerous psychiatrists had testified that Andrea was not competent. She was mentally defective, and she was in a psychotic state when she had killed her children. California psychiatrist Park Dietz, he was a prosecution witness, testified that Yates was mimicking an episode of a television series from Law & Order, which had a woman acquitted of killing her children by drowning them. Yates was convicted of capital murder on March 12th of 2002 for the deaths of 3 of her children, but was spared the death penalty. Instead, she was sentenced to life in prison on March 15th. Americans were torn over the verdict because many wanted her to just get help. Like, she was obviously mentally just fucked, right? So in early 2005, the Texas Court of Appeals reversed Yates's conviction after finding that Dietz, that fucking douchebag, the prosecutor, finding that Dietz's testimony about the Law & Order episode, yeah, that shit never fucking happened. It was never an episode. So the appeals court found that Dietz's testimony might have influenced the jury because, you know, whatever. So a new trial was ordered. And on January 9th of 2006, Yates pled not guilty by reason of insanity to the murder charges. On July 26th, a jury of 6 men and 6 women found her not guilty by reason of insanity. And Andrea underwent several months of evaluations prior to being assigned to a mental health facility for treatment in January of 2007. So, with all that said, Andrea has been eligible for annual competency reviews to determine if she can leave the care facility. But as of 2022, her attorney said that she has waived every single hearing. She does not want. She knows.
How disturbing is it that somebody who's mentally incapacitated is being like, no, I'm not. I shouldn't be allowed to be out in society.
Right.
Respect, though.
So was there no repercussions for the husband who kept like being like, oh, get pregnant again.
No. So
we know that this is going to be bad. The doctors have told us that. Oh, well, get pregnant again.
No, unfortunately.
This is why this religious shit does not fucking play out well.
It's fucked. And
especially for women.
Especially for women, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So Rusty in turn blamed the deaths of his children on poor medical care.
They were drowned in a fucking bathtub.
Right. And
dead by the time anyone showed up. So what? That's the fucking emergencies.
She had been warned, you know, several times that if she had any more children that she could go into a deep psychosis and not fucking return from that. She had been warned.
So insane. He should be on the fucking
he wanted to blame it on the medical care and the insurance companies. So throughout this, he supported his wife throughout her trials, but maintained that her insanity case was built on lies.
Oh my God.
Andrea's family blamed Rusty for her mental deterioration, as they should.
There was a lot of brainwashing going on.
There
here.
definitely was. And they supported charges of negligent homicide and child endangerment being brought against Rusty, but prosecutors never fucking pursued these charges.
Of course not.
They never did. So Rusty
He's a
divorced
man.
Andrea in March of 2005.
Oh, that wasn't very godly of him.
Right. And he remarried in March of 2006.
And
Like
had
the next
a whole
year.
new
No.
family.
Literally.
Oh my God. I'd like to talk to that wife now.
She probably doesn't speak.
You're
no,
not
she
wrong.
doesn't.
You're
And
not
she's
wrong.
probably in a deep psychosis.
Right. So I want to take this moment in time to talk about postpartum psychosis and
Mhm.
postpartum depression.
Great.
Okay, so postpartum psychosis is a severe mental illness that can occur after childbirth. It's very different than postpartum depression. It involves a rapid onset of psychotic symptoms like delusions, hallucinations, and disorganized thinking. While postpartum depression involves a loss of interest or pleasure in activities and like feelings of sadness or emptiness, postpartum psychosis presents with symptoms that alter your reality. The severity is obviously more severe for the psychosis part of this and dangerous than the depression side of it. Symptoms of postpartum depression involve sadness, whereas the psychosis involves hallucinations and delusions. The depression can develop gradually, while the psychosis is very rapid. It
Yeah.
happens very quickly. And women with postpartum psychosis have a higher risk of harming themselves and their children if not diagnosed right away. It's a medical emergency and it
Yeah.
requires prompt
Immediate.
hospitalization and treatment. Early identification and intervention are crucial for both depression and psychosis. Untreated conditions have significant consequences for both mother and baby. So postpartum psychosis and depression, as we have talked about, they're real. It's very real shit and it's very debilitating. So do you think women should be held accountable for their actions during one of these episodes?
The psychosis or the depression?
Either or.
Having been a mother 3 times myself, I can say that I myself may have probably did experience the depression after my second. I didn't with all 3. My first one, I was like ready
Me too.
to be a mom.
Yep. Here we go.
My second one came and it was and also it depends on like where you are in your life.
Yeah.
How are things going for you?
Who
and
are you
at
surrounded
that point
by?
in my life, things were not necessarily great.
Same
know,
situation,
yeah.
kind of. I mean, it was a little different, but
And I
mostly
definitely
the same.
had the depression with the second.
I definitely did too. It took a couple of weeks for me to know that that's what it was. And I never actually sought treatment, but I did
Right,
know
me
what was
neither.
wrong with me.
Yep.
And I pulled myself out. But
That's kind of what I did too.
yeah.
And I think a lot of moms probably experience that.
yeah.
And then with my third, there was none. I was like ready to be I was like
Yeah.
robo-mom at that point because I had already done this twice before. So the psychosis, I've never experienced that. But just think, women out there, like what it's like when your hormones are out of whack. And I know we've all fucking experienced that. You literally feel insane, whether you're going through,
For real.
whether it's like your period in 4 days, or whether it's like going through menopause, which
Dude,
I'm experiencing
me
at this
too,
moment
and
in
I'm
my
fucking
life.
over it.
Whether it's, any of those things, or like you're taking a medication that's fucking everything up. Like your hormones literally regulate your entire life.
They do.
Like, and
It's true.
everything revolves
And they
around
don't
it.
give a fuck.
They don't. They
No.
don't care. So just think about that. And this isn't an excuse for men to be like, oh, she's on her period.
No.
No.
You know-
and fuck them anyways, because they don't have the same fluctuations that we do. We'll
They
talk a
don't.
little bit more about it
They
later,
don't.
but yeah, they don't fucking understand.
But like, I'm not here to fucking say what each woman is experiencing.
Right.
Because
It's
every
different.
single one of us are different. And we all need to be supported.
And each pregnancy is different.
It's true. It's so true. And I wasn't
Absolutely.
expecting that with my second one. And I was 22 years old. I was like,
Yeah.
no, okay, this is weird. And you know what though? As a result of that, I'm close with all my children. And
But even the age, so like you were 22 when she was born.
yeah,
I was 28 when my second was born.
you were a little
and
bit older.
It was still the samesies.
But also, do you think it has something to do with giving birth to a girl?
It might. We don't talk about
I kind of
that.
think that.
We
like,
talk
they
more about,
take
like-
your estrogen from you
Yeah.
or they take something from
Yeah.
you.
Because like my first I was 25 and he was a boy, and that was, and I hated being pregnant, but at the same time once I had him,
God.
it was the best. It was great. It was wonderful.
I loved being pregnant every single
I know
time.
you did, and I hated it both
I
times.
fucking
And
loved it.
I mean, a year after she was born, I was like, cut it up, doc. I don't fucking want it. Like, because that's just how whatever I felt. Listen, if you know me, you know that when I was little, I had always planned to have 10 kids.
You were going to have a baseball team. Yeah.
Yes,
It was going to be a
and
lot.
I wanted all the babies and all the whatever. And then after having my daughter,
I'm so weirded out that I had more than you.
I know.
Because, like, I was going to have none.
right, you weren't.
I was
You
going to
were
have none,
not.
and I would have had more. If
And
my
I-
husband wanted more, we would have had probably 2 more.
And I was done. And I ended up with a bonus child, but I didn't have to birth her, and that's wonderful.
How great is that?
That's wonderful
Yeah.
for
It's
me.
fucking amazing.
I did not have to do any
love
of the
that.
work.
I love that.
So, sometimes moms can have super strength.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Actually, I know it.
But mostly, I think that mothers are just more in tune to danger. This really doesn't go along with what we're talking about, but I'm going to pull out my bag of tricks.
Oh my god, here she goes with this fucking bag again. Oh, God.
Okay, what is this?
It's
So far, I'm fucking having the greatest time of my life.
At first, I was sad there
ready?
was no
I don't know.
coochie board.
I know. I didn't
But
get a
then-
coochie board because I bought you tricks.
Now I'm very
I
happy.
like tricks.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
This is so
It's
awesome.
got a little plant in the middle.
Yes, this is an air plant. And
I've
mine
never
are dead
seen
because
one
of
bloom.
Dale.
They definitely need to be watered.
Oh my god.
You can
I've
mist them
never
with a
seen
sprayer
one.
too. So
I've
if
never owned an
That's
air
how I
plant in
used
my
to do it.
life.
I love them. This is your new baby. This is your new baby.
it.
Give her a
have
name. Or him or her. She does
No,
have
it's
a
a
flower.
her. This is Mother's Day.
Yes, and she has a flower, so I think she needs a girl's name. They're really hard to kill. I've had some that I didn't water for like 2 months, and they're still alive. Yeah.
They're amazing.
They're
They
hard to
like
kill.
the air.
Yeah,
Like literally.
they love it.
they love the
I could just like put this in my hair.
Isn't it so cute?
This is so cute. I've never seen one with the ombre leaves. Look at mine has. Like,
I like
this
the
pink.
flower. I've never seen one with a flower.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
The
obsessed
flower.
I know. I've
Don't worry
never
about
seen
myself
that.
one too. She's
okay,
at home.
Good, good.
Oh my god, I feel so
Okay,
spoiled.
I'm, like,
I feel
really
so
spoiled.
It's the best episode ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So can you think of a time when your mother did something that to you seemed heroic for either you or your siblings?
Oh, yeah.
Girl,
A lot.
our mother was always so extra with the standing up for us. Do you remember the time that we were at the carnival and I was playing that coin machine?
Yes,
you know,
I
where you
do.
like you put the coins in and then it drops and then like it
That
pushes
was our
more
favorite
coins
game.
out.
It's still my favorite game to
It
this
is
day.
mine too. So I'm standing there. I'm playing this game. My mom was behind me. I was a teenager. I was old. I was like 16,
Yes.
17. I was old. And we're sitting there playing it, and some guy comes up. Okay. This blew my mind at the time. I was like, what is going on? I'm completely oblivious to everything around me. And this guy comes up, and he's standing like really close to me. Like,
Mom didn't like that.
Mom was like uncomfortable with how close this guy was. So, and all of a sudden, my mom takes this guy by the fucking arm
Iconic.
and she pulls him back. And it was funny because our friend, he was standing on the other side of me. And so, mom, and he was a big dude.
Large man.
He's a big dude. And mom, this guy's standing too close to me. So she grabs him by the fucking like forearm and she fucking pulls him back. And she's like, excuse me, you're standing way too close to my teenage daughter.
Iconic.
And listen, at the time, I'm kind of embarrassed. Because
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, she's overreacting. It's totally what I did.
Mom.
And he started screaming at mom, which
Oh,
do not fucking
no.
yell at my mother in my
Absolutely
presence.
not.
Never fucking
Fuck
do it.
you.
You will fucking, I'll catch a charge over it.
You're gonna die, bitch.
So
Mhm.
she's screaming at this dude. He's yelling back at her. It's like causing a huge scene. And then Buddy goes, I think you need to leave.
Oh.
Yes,
To the fucking
buddy.
guy.
Well,
and
then
my-
you know that it's real.
And my mom like fucking puts her hands on her hips and she's like, huh. And fucking dude walks away. He like was like, oh, guess
Yeah,
what? This
because
ain't the
Buddy
time.
was a
Yeah.
massive fucking
I think
dude.
he was gonna try to take mom on, which would have been a big fucking mistake.
Especially where we were, because everybody would have been like,
Do not
Don't
fuck
stop
with
the
T.
whole
even.
carnival.
Do
Yeah.
not fuck with T. But my mom, someone was fucking with her kids. She was always that fucking much extra.
For real.
And don't be fucking with her McDonald's fucking sandwiches, dude.
No.
We're like,
That's a
that
good
was the
one.
time. So anyways, we're
Protect
gonna
I'm
move
going to
Actors.
dive into my story.
on. Okay, yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be iconic though.
This story is about my other mother. I know I talked about her a little bit earlier. My stepmom, you know, she is my stepmom, but I've known this lady since I was 4 years old.
She's not a stepmom.
She's not a stepmom. She's
You think of stepmom, you think of like evil
No,
stepmother.
and I
Right.
feel like I really understand why Aunt Tracy says that, and it makes her cringe every time because I do the same thing. But it's literally because it's easier to say it that way, so people know what you're talking about.
We're
Yeah,
just like
because-
really fortunate to have two moms.
We
Yeah.
are. So, my other mother, did you know that she saved me from a river once?
Yes, I
Wait,
did. I was there.
I feel like I know this story, and it's so funny because she had to do the
I
same
wish
to me.
she was here to tell it because she does.
She does it so much better than
she's
me.
like so annoyed at the
She
time.
was so
And
pissed,
she
but
still, when she tells it to this day, she still has the same,
she
And
the
Energy.
same like annoyance.
but in my 4-year-old brain, she was a hero.
She
All right.
was a hero, god damn it.
So,
she was a hero.
She was. So she had told us that we could go watch the ducks, but not to get too close to the water.
Yeah.
And this bitch got too close to the goddamn water.
So I don't even really remember how or why I ended up falling in. I was so little, and probably my sister and my cousin fucking dared me to do it because they were always fucking
No,
with
that
me.
is not true.
Probably that is.
That's not true.
I remember stepping on a rock and then somebody
If there
saying
was
something.
ever a chance to be clumsy, 4-year-old Tracy would definitely fall
Okay,
into
I'm
it.
clumsy
No.
too.
So
though.
whoever was like, "Yo,
No,
go
that's
close to the
not
water,"
real.
we
But
knew
anyway.
Josh was gonna fall in.
Anyway, I ended up falling in, and here she
Yeah.
comes like a flash of fucking lightning.
Queen.
I don't even.
She fucking went
Queen.
right in.
She did.
I love her.
She did.
I don't even remember much, and perhaps
I do.
I am completely fucking
do.
wrong. Like, I don't remember a lot of it, but from what I do remember is that she was my fucking hero. She saved me from
Yeah.
the river, and I was fucking terrified.
Damn
She
right.
was pissed,
The shit
but
was,
I was
flowing
terrified.
too. The river was
It was
flowing.
the Rock River.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
fucking like, shh.
That's like the same fucking shit. I was like,
So that's
fucking
really
doing that
it,
too.
though. Like, I don't remember a whole lot. And after that, guess
She
what?
threw your ass up on the
She
fucking
did.
shore.
She did.
But after that, guess what? She taught me how to swim.
Mhm.
She did.
She taught me how to swim after that.
If she didn't teach me, I wouldn't know. So,
Nope. And she
I'm actually a
also-
pretty good swimmer.
She also saved me from my dad about 1,000,000 times in my
Yeah,
life.
that is also true.
And she probably still continues to do so. And she's a fucking G for that shit, right?
Oh
Like,
my god.
she is a fucking hero.
She's a boss ass
in my book.
bitch.
She
I
is.
I
agree.
love her.
I agree.
Let's
She's
talk
the
about
best.
some
So
heroic
funny.
mothers, shall we?
Yes, please.
So, Nikki Carpenter. So, in April of 2010, a devastating tornado struck 17 counties in Mississippi.
Oh god.
The 30-year-old mom placed a mattress over her 3 small sons and planted herself on top of it to shield them as the house came crumbling down around them.
Wow.
All 3 boys made it through, but unfortunately, Nikki did not. She did not survive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You're a real one, Nikki.
She
Go,
R.I.P.
girl. She was like,
Yeah.
"No, y'all are gonna live."
for real. So
That's heroic, bitch.
it is. It
Yeah,
is.
No, I agree.
In 2009, Maureen Lee and her 3-year-old daughter, Maya, were enjoying a hike on a trail near their home located near Vancouver, Canada, when an 88-pound cougar pounced on Maya. Maureen wedged
What?
herself in between the animal and her child and hurled it off. She then picked up Maya and ran to a nearby house, and Maya only suffered some minor cuts to her head and arm, and according to her father, she just wondered why the kitty didn't play nice.
Oh my god, that's iconic.
Isn't it? So in early 2006, Linda Angiu and her 7-year-old son and his friends were walking along the coast in northern Quebec when out of nowhere, a polar bear appeared.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
what the hell?
First of all, imagine living somewhere where a polar bear appeared.
It's just out of nowhere. So
Not now.
she protected the kids, but not without being clawed first. And almost immediately, nearby onlookers shot at the bear and drew it away.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So in 1982, Angela Cavallo's son Tony was working on his 1964 Chevy Impala when it came off the jacks and collapsed on top of him.
Oh my god.
Angela acted quickly and she, without hesitation, she lifted the car up about 4 inches so the
Yes.
neighbor, and she held
Oh
it
my
there
God,
so
dude.
that neighbors could pull Tony out. And he's fine.
he's
I've
all
done
right
some
now.
crazy shit
Yep.
to help people.
You
Like-
hold a car off of somebody?
For
no,
real.
but like remember when I walked that kid home and he broke his arm
Oh,
and
yeah.
people were laughing at him, but I walked him all the way home and I held his arm. Like, I don't even know, but I was fucking blessed by the universe and I was like so
Oh my God.
steady.
Mothers are driven to save their children due to a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors.
Whoa.
Mothers experience a strong protective instinct,
Mhm.
often driven by the release of oxytocin. So, this instinct, combined with the deep emotional bond formed during pregnancy and birth, leads mothers to prioritize their children's well being above their own. Completely
Yep.
true. During pregnancy and childbirth, mothers experience a surge of oxytocin, and this is often referred to as the love hormone.
Mhm.
This hormone plays a crucial role in bonding with the baby and can also trigger protective behaviors in the face of danger. Studies have shown that motherhood can lead to significant changes in the brain, enhancing their readiness to protect and defend their offspring. Mothers possess an innate drive to protect their young, which is a survival instinct, and it ensures the propagation of the species, basically.
Moms are like fucking crazy, dude. Like,
We're
if you don't know
superheroes.
that, you're
Sorry.
fucking living under a rock.
Listen, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Mom brain.
Yes,
my
it's a real
God.
thing.
We're all dumb, and it's backed by science.
Okay, good.
It actually
Okay.
is. It's
Tell me
crazy.
how I can tell my husband that it was mom brain.
Can
It
you
really is.
look up if working in childcare gives you the same kind of thing?
It
Because
probably does.
It probably
I
does.
Because
spend
I
it all
it does. It does affect you. A 2016 study found that first-time mothers experience reductions in gray matter in their brain that lasts up to 2 years.
This
okay?
is true. Yes.
Mothers were scanned pre-pregnancy and again after birth. When the scans were compared to non-mothers, the matter loss was it was only seen in mothers. It was not seen in the non-mothers. So men's brains have also been observed, and it seems to adapt the same way, but only if they're deeply caring for a child, like super involved. Okay, they have to be like
My
extremely
husband.
yes,
Yeah.
or like mine.
like the amazing gay men who adopt children.
Yes, it
Mhm.
does happen in gay men. It does.
Yeah.
I love it.
It does.
Oh my god, I love
Fucking
that.
fabulous.
So
Yes.
the gray matter in the brain takes part in the process of important functions such as processing emotions, hearing, seeing, and making decisions.
Mhm.
Okay. So as you evolve in life, this process happens anyway in your brain to eliminate extra connections to improve brain efficacy. But your body releases more hormones like progesterone to prepare your uterus and body to carry a baby.
Mhm.
Estrogen helps your body develop your baby. However, the fluctuation of hormones make you more prone to mood swings and anxiety. Your body does all of this to allow you to better respond to the cues and needs of an infant postpartum. Your amygdala grows during pregnancy and postpartum. This area has many receptors for hormones like oxytocin. And we have talked about oxytocin already, but the oxytocin levels are super abundant in women that are pregnant or postpartum.
Yeah.
The loss of gray matter occurs in the hippocampus, and that is responsible for the brain's memory control. And as a mother, your focus goes towards the part of the brain that is responsible for figuring out your infant's wants and needs. So it's called pruning. So your brain like kind of like, you know, like you prune a tree or whatever, or
You,
a
like,
bush or a plant. You cut from here, but when you cut from here, it grows here. So
But, like,
that's the whole...
Moms have to go into full-blown survival mode.
Yes. Researchers claim that the changes can be an advantage throughout not only motherhood, but when taking on caregiving responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yep. As they don't immediately disappear, and they do change, like, depending on, you know, whatever you're experiencing.
Simultaneously.
So,
That's the word.
simultaneously.
Listen to
One
this.
study discovered that mothers' reaction times are often better than just a normal woman who wasn't
Yeah.
a mother. These are all like scientifically backed things. Approximately 1 in 6 women will suffer from postpartum depression and other issues that develop after giving birth.
Mhm.
Some experts believe that the brain changes might contribute to postpartum depression and anxiety, which is totally fucking
Yeah.
legit.
True.
Facts.
New mothers experience growth in the brain areas that are responsible for regulation of emotions and empathy. And so, unfortunately, your brain attempting to prepare you to be a better mom can actually cause you your constant feelings of sadness and disconnection with your baby, which is completely unfortunate.
Sad.
But
It's sad, yeah.
true. So, you know, hail science and all that.
Hail science.
Hail science.
I
But mom
agree.
brain,
It's a real thing.
I have had that since the day I became pregnant with my son almost 14 years ago. And that shit never fucking left. So don't forget to thank your fucking mother. You have no idea what having you took from her.
Mm-hmm.
She gave up so much to birth you and raise you. So make sure that you at least wish her a happy Mother's Day.
You
least,
fucking
at
bitch.
the very fucking least.
So for all you moms out there like me, I have a little something that I'd like to read to you.
Oh my
if
God.
you're feeling
oh
a
my
little
God, I'm so excited.
if
What
you're
is
feeling a little
this?
inadequate as a mother, okay? So we're going to read There Are Moms Way Worse Than You.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Irrefutable proof that you are indeed a fantastic parent.
Mom, it's you.
Oh,
The giraffe is kicking the little baby.
so this is by
Don't kick
fucking-
the baby.
You're
Ike.
awful.
for real. So this is by Glenn Boozin and illustrated by Priscilla Witt.
Mom, I'm still standing.
You ready?
That
Yes.
poor child.
So congrats, you had a kid or two. Oh, what a time of joy. You got the crib, the car seat, bib, you bought the perfect toys. You read the books, you did the work, you baby-proofed your stuff. But even so, a nagging thought, what if it's not enough? Like, what if I don't burp them right? Or what if I'm too strict? Or what if I buy diapers, then the diapers make them sick?
yeah.
Or what if they get tetanus? Or I don't dress them right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what if when I strap them in, the baby Bjorn's too tight?
Oh my God. That's like me. I think that.
God. Or maybe your head starts to spin. It's now a full-blown panic. They lose an eye, or even worse, their food is not organic.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
God.
it's not.
Okay,
It's
that's
not
too
gonna be.
much.
Or what if I'm not watching and they stumble off a cliff? Or what if I pick the wrong preschool? What if?
Oh my God, with that preschool shit. Just relax, dude.
I didn't go to preschool.
Whoa, okay, calm down. Take a breath. Big exhale. It's absolutely normal feeling like you're doomed to fail. And though you'll make some big mistakes, remember this is true. When put into perspective, there are moms way worse than you.
It's true.
Oh, God, it's true.
Remember that all the worst things I've done to you, remember there's
For
people
real.
worse.
There are.
There's
You
moms-
won't be worse than hamster moms, no matter how you try.
Oh, God.
Sometimes they eat their newborn pups. We still don't yet know why.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Like, yeah. That's fucked up. Oh my God.
Oops, sorry. A mom giraffe is pretty nice until the fetus drops.
Oh.
She'll birth a newborn baby calf
Oh.
and then kick him till he walks.
That's my mom. That's my mom.
You need to really chill
That's
out.
my mom right there.
You need to really chill out.
Yo, help, help.
Oh, God. If someone calls you selfish mom and makes you feel like crud,
Oh.
tell them sometimes Dracula ants will suck their baby's blood.
Oh, that's
Oh my God, I can't
Okay.
deal with this. fucking
okay.
guy.
That's bad. That's bad.
Whenever you feel guilty that you haven't cleaned the house, sexton beetles raise their kids in a decomposing mound.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My drink.
I'm fucking deceased.
I spilled
I'm
my
deceased.
drink.
I'm
to this
deceased. An
I'm-
eagle mom believes in survival of the strong. She'll let her little eaglets fight until the death. How wrong.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, is that true?
Look at they got little boxing
They
gloves.
fight and one of them might die?
Yeah,
And
Oh
she
my
lets
God.
them.
very true.
And she lets them.
Panda moms are perfect unless they're blessed with two. Twins are hard, so they'll ditch one. It's terrible and true.
Oh my God.
They just picked the best
Oh
one.
They do.
My
Oh
God.
my God.
For dinner time, a koala mom will feed her kids her poop.
Oh.
Remember that when
Oh.
you feel bad for giving yours fast food.
There's no
Oh my
fucking
God.
way.
Oh
I'm
my
eating
God.
my mom's
They do.
shit.
My God. Oh my God.
When side by side with Elanyu skinks, you'll look like the world's best mama. They'll eat their eggs if things get tough just to avoid the drama.
Wait.
They're like, you know what? I don't really want to be a mom.
Oh
I'm
my
just
god.
gonna eat it.
Yep.
Holy shit.
If a quokka mom comes face to face with dingoes in the wild, guess what she'll do to get away? That's right. She'll toss her child.
Oh Lord. I knew that was gonna happen.
The illustrations in this
Is
They're
so
amazing.
great.
They're
I
amazing.
know I'm
Great.
doing the same crazy laugh, but just like listen.
You have to see the book.
It's insane.
At least you're not a cuckoo mom. Whoo, boy, that bitch is brazen.
Oh my god.
She hides her eggs in others' nests so she won't have to raise them.
Can we get a round of applause for the fucking cuckoo?
I know a few
What
people
a
like
smart
that.
ass bitch.
For real. Harp seals, oh, they're super cute. Maternally, they're frightening. 2 weeks after giving birth, they're out of there like lightning.
Oh my god.
They don't raise them.
Oh,
He's flipping off the baby.
It is.
Oh my god.
In fact, a lot of new moms pull a disappearing act. Bunnies, black bears, snakes and lizards, sheeps, birds, and cats.
Oh
They all fuck off.
damn.
They all fuck off.
Alaskan plovers, they don't even fake it like they care. 1 month after giving birth, first class Hawaiian Air.
Holy shit.
It's not just moms, some dads suck too.
Well, yeah.
They're not all warm and snuggly. A pipefish dad will eat his kids if he thinks they're ugly.
Oh my
true.
god, how do we know he thinks they're ugly?
Oh my
true.
god.
I love science.
Me too. Horses seem like super dads, but they're not the best. They'll threaten other horses' kids and kick them straight to death. They will.
I slapped him right on top of the head.
Top of the head.
I killed him
Oh
straight
my
to
God.
death.
Oh
I
my
love
god.
this.
The poison dart frog dad is less a hit and more a miss. He'll keep his eggs from drying out. He'll sometimes use his piss.
Oh my god.
I mean, whatever he needs to do,
Whatever
right?
you
By
gotta do.
all
Look at
means
his little butt
necessary.
cheeks.
For real. So when you feel exhausted or there's too much on your plate, as long as you don't eat your baby, yeah, you're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Raising kids is chaos. There is no ideal path. Like anything worth doing, motherhood will kick your ass.
It's true.
True. That's so true.
Damn, this is a good book.
When the panic rises and the pressure starts to mount, remember you're trying, and that's all that counts.
Yeah.
Though others might make comments or judge from where they sit, this concept of a perfect mom is absolute bullshit.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's celebrate the not so great and wish it had gone better. Embrace the mediocre family times you share together.
Yes.
Because even if you drop a kid or accidentally curse, just know that when it comes to moms, you'll never be the worst.
That is awesome.
So there's a whole index that tells you about how they parent every
Oh
animal that
my
we talked
God.
about.
Oh
How
my
they
god. This is
parent.
awesome.
This is such a cute book. What's the name of the book?
It's called "There Are Moms Way Worse Than You: Irrefutable Proof That You Are Indeed a Fantastic Parent." You can buy it on Amazon.
Oh my god.
And it's by Glenn Boozin, and the illustrations are by Priscilla Witt, which the illustrations
the
are
illustrations really make it.
Yeah,
Like,
like
we're gonna give this to my mom.
Oh my god.
How do you feel about that?
That was
was really
fucking
good.
perfect.
yeah.
Well, that's it for
That's
today.
it?
That's it. And I want to thank all of you for joining us.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. We hope you come back.
We hope you come
I
back.
hope you do.
Please come back.
You could head over to our Patreon page, maybe become a member, and get access to our after hours show, Extra Poison.
Which we're going to record right now.
right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Imagine that.
if you want to, we would appreciate it.
We would really appreciate it.
And so will you once you get your dose of Extra Poison. I'm sure you'll be hooked.
Yeah, also, it's not really like these kind of episodes.
It's not.
kind of a little different. So,
It is.
Well, this one it might be kind of
Oh
similar.
my gosh.
too, but-
Maybe.
Oh
Don't
my
forget to thank your fucking mothers.
Yes, you
They've
pricks.
probably done a lot for you.
this is a heads up.
For fucking sure. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Porch drinking season is upon us,
Hell yes.
and we couldn't be more pumped.
No,
Really?
we couldn't. And we're going to go to a shotgun right fucking now. In
Oh.
honor of mothers.
In honor of mothers.
That's right.
Oh, and guess what? You've been poisoned. I should have just let you know.